Hello, people. You are welcome to yet another interesting lesson. This morning, we are going to talk about bad deeds. If you could remember last week, we talked about good deeds and rewards. Let's revise our lesson on good deeds and rewards. We said that good deeds are acts that are considered good and are accepted by the society. And anytime one exhibits or put up a good deed, the person deserves a reward. And then reward is anything that we give to somebody who has committed a good deed. Look into your textbooks and get some acts of good deeds and then the types of rewards. Try to explain them on your own and you will do good. This morning we are coming to look at bad deeds and punishment. Bad deeds and punishment. Looking at the picture, the first picture, you can see that money is being passed under the table. Money is being exchanged. Two hands under the table. In the second picture, you can see that a lady is drunk. She's taking about 3 bottles and she's drunk. Let's base our explanation of bad deeds on these two pictures. So we can say that bad deeds are acts considered wrong. They are sinful and they are unacceptable in the society. Behavior that you put up, that you exhibit, that are not acceptable, that are deemed wrong, and that are deemed sinful, we call them bad deeds. And the Bible refers to bad deeds as acts of the flesh. Acts of the flesh. So anytime you follow after bad deed, then you are obeying your flesh, or you are doing what your flesh wants you to do. And that can be seen from Galatians 5:19-20. Let's look at some acts of bad deeds. Some acts of bad deeds, some behaviors that we consider bad deeds. When you engage in examination or practice, as can be seen in the first picture, it's an act of bad deed. When you steal, you take something that does not belong to you. In the second picture up there, it's also an act of bad deed. And then when you murder, you kill somebody. In the last picture, that is also an act of bad deed. Others we can talk about are telling lies, fighting, substance abuse, keeping one's environment dirty, indecent language, that's profanity, when you use profane languages, indecent dressing, then failing to assist a friend who is in dire need of something. It can be food, it can be money. All these are examples of bad deeds. And then some of them you will be punished when you put them up. So punishment, anytime you put up a bad deed, you are supposed to be punished, and that's why you come to school and then you do something wrong and then you are punished. Punishment is just to tell you that what you did was wrong and then we need to bring you back. So looking at the first picture, a school pupil is being punished by a teacher. And so punishment is making someone undergo pain and discomfort for a bad deed committed. So when you make somebody undergo pain and then discomfort, you make the person uncomfortable for something bad the person has done. It is called punishment. We will proceed to look at the types of punishment that we have. And we have corporal or physical punishment. Corporal or physical punishment. And this one involves making someone undergo physical pain for a bad deed committed. This one, the person feels it on the skin. And we can have examples as caning, spanking, slapping, pinching, pulling, twisting, giving knocks, and then hitting with an object. All these are examples of corporal or physical punishment. So take note, when you're asked to write types of punishment, you don't write caning. Caning is not a type of punishment, but caning is an example of physical or corporal punishment. So take note of the types and then the examples we have over there. The second type, we have a court fine. This is when the court will ask the offender to pay an amount of money for a bad deed committed. So the court may fine the offender or a wrongdoer an amount of money for engaging in a bad deed. For instance, if a person destroys another person's property, you may be asked to pay for it or give a money equivalent to that item you have destroyed. And that is a court fine, when the court asks you to pay money for something you have destroyed or for a bad deed you have committed. It is called fine. The second type, we have imprisonment. An individual who has been arrested for committing an offense may be persecuted by the police for court action, and the court will throw you back to the cells if you deserve to be there. The prison term may depend on the gravity of the offense. So if you commit offense that you deserve a 1-year prison sentence, you will be given. So the prison term will depend on the gravity of the offense that you have committed. The fourth type, we have death sentence, or it is normally called capital punishment. And this one involves killing the offender. So this one, the state will kill you for the offense you have committed. People who commit serious crimes such as murder or high treason. High treason is offense against the state. Like you are involved in a coup d'etat. You are planning to overthrow a government or something like that. It is high treason. And you may be condemned to death by a court of competent jurisdiction. Not any court can declare that you should be killed. But the high courts, the Supreme Courts, they are in charge of capital punishment. And the capital punishment may take the form of hanging, firing squad, electrocution, or by lethal injection. Let's look at some pictures of all these examples of capital punishment. So the picture 1 is hanging. You can be hanged, as you can see in the picture. The state can decide to hang you. In the second picture 2, there is firing squad. You'll be tied to a barrel or a tree, and then you'll be shot at so many times. There is electrocution. Electricity will be passed through your system, and then you die instantly. And then the fourth picture is lethal injection. You'll be injected to die. So the capital punishment takes these 4 forms. Any of them, the state can ask for it. Then the fifth types of punishment, we have Buster Institute, and this one is for juveniles. Juveniles who commit serious offenses are taken to a training facility called Buster Institute. They are kept there with limited freedom. So if you are a juvenile, you are not an adult yet, you are taken to these institutes to be trained. They are trained on preferred vocation so that when they come out, they will be useful to themselves in the state. We have other types. We have reprimanding. That is verbal. Verbally using harsh words on somebody. Unkind words. That's reprimanding for someone who has done a wrong. Banishment is asking someone to stay out of a community for some time and come back at a later date. Or at times it is 3 years, it is 5 years. So you stay out of the community for some years and then you come back. That is banishment. Bad testimonial. A testimonial contains a pupil's behavior at the school or a worker's behavior at the workplace. And so when it becomes bad, it means that bad things have been written about you. So you can also be given a testimonial. Then community service. You can be asked to do a community service, maybe sweep the community, distill gutters, do any work in the community for a bad deed you have committed. So these are some of the types of punishment. You can also look out for other types as you may have in your textbooks. In summary, we have looked at the meaning of bad deeds and some examples. We have looked at acts considered bad deeds. We have looked at the meaning of punishment, and also we have looked at types of punishment and the forms that they take. Keep enjoying the lessons. Keep listening to us. See you next time.